Hello and welcome to FinextraTV. I'm Advi Sonia and we're here at EBAday in Copenhagen. Joining me today is Katja Lehr from JP Morgan. Hi Katja, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm all right, thank you for having me.
So 2026 is going to be a pivotal year for regulation. There's a lot coming to the fore. We have the instant payments regulation, eIDAS, PSD3. What does all of this mean for the future of payments?
Right, we have a lot of regulation coming our way or already been implemented, SEPA Instant, DORA. Now we are approaching the implementation timeline of PSD3, PSR, but we are not done. So we have roughly another, I want to say 18, 24 months till we are implemented with PSD3 and PSR. That actually gives us a very, very good base because now we know these are the rules, and in the European regulation law perspective, they are only being reviewed every decade, so we're going to have something very stable for the next roughly 10 years. So this is our opportunity to now use that regulation and move it into growth, into stable growth, innovate on top of it, and turn it into really an opportunity. There's one caveat, I have to say. With the newest developments, particularly in artificial intelligence, there is a good chance that this rhythm we are having currently, where we are saying it's reviewed every decade, new version implemented every 10 years, that might not be sufficient looking forward with the extremely fast development on the artificial intelligence side and most probably the new innovation we will see. So not that I have a solution for it, but I think I can imagine that maybe we will be looking at a more public-private collaboration to make sure that we are not stifling innovation just because we are operating on some regulations or directives which have been in place for a while.
Thank you. And I want to mention eIDAS. What will that mean for digital and mobile payments, particularly from a verification point of view?
My favorite topic.
Great.
Because I am also a consumer, so I'm looking very, very much forward having something on my phone rather than a paper version of my identification. But I have to say, when I look at the eIDAS, and the EU ID wallet, it's not just for verification. Yes, verification is one part of it. When I look at payments, I can verify my payment, but also it gives me a lot of other opportunities when I look at other use cases, what I can use this identification for. And one of the things, for example, age verification, or another thing, if I go out and rent a car, I can actually prove, not that I'm of age, but also that I have a driver's license. And this will tremendously change how we interact and go from a very, I don't want to say, I think I could say clumsy user experience today into something which is much more smoother and actually one click. And as an example, I live in Germany. And when I go to the supermarket and I check out and I use one of the self-checkouts and I happen to buy an alcoholic beverage, a red light goes up and then a sales assistant has to come and has to actually check my identity. And can you imagine what we could do if all of that would be in our ID wallet and all digitized and no one running around? So I think there's a huge opportunity coming our way. And I'm looking forward actually to moving it from the consumer ID into the business ID, where I truly believe that also for businesses, there's a huge opportunity.
Lovely. And we've mentioned a lot of regulations in this conversation. Do you believe that there's clarity, or will there need to be a sort of standard set like ISO 20022?
Right. That's a good point. Yes, we have a lot of regulation, and for me, a regulation and a standardization are basically just the same, just two different sides of the same coin. It's about harmonization. And the way I look at it is regulation for me is the what, and standardization is the how. And we all don't want regulation to go into the nitty-gritty, very bespoke details. So we like the regulation to tell us what. And then we need to define how. And I truly believe one of the reasons why open banking, for example, in Europe didn't pick up as much as we had hoped is because we don't have standardization around it. and that is hampering the introduction and the usage of it. So when we look at what's coming our way with the very many regulation, then we do need to find a way how to implement it in a harmonized way. And standardization, whether these are technical standards like a common API or just rules we all agree on, it's all just another form of standards. That's going to be tremendously helpful and will honestly be needed in order to make all these regulations work.
Lovely. There's a lot there, and I'm sure a lot more discussion will happen at EBAday. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.